Happy holidays, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to be in this amazing, special, wonderful time of year, as the song says. And there's so many holidays to celebrate. In my family, we celebrate Hanukkah and Christmas. Others celebrate Kwanzaa and festivals of light, happiness, and joy around the world. And we also know that this is a time that's really hard to have cancer. I mean, a lot of times are hard to have cancer, but this one really takes the cake, literally, because you may not be feeling well, you might be exhausted, you might have doctor's appointments, scans, or treatments that you need to get to. There's a lot of competing priorities in terms of family visiting or maybe scheduled travel. And there's a lot of events, food, financial expectations or financial hardships that feel even harder. And we want to walk you through what are some ways to get through all of that, how to be cancering and doing it well during the holidays. So we divided up our topics today into some descriptions that we think mesh really well with some of the classic Christmas movies. And we hope that helps you to remember them and remember those movies and realize that there are ways to get through this and certainly that you're not the only one going through this. These classic holiday movies exist because so many of us go through these things. Cancer is just something that we all have to recognize, acknowledge, cope with, live with, struggle with, rage upon, crush, and even thrive with. This show is more than knowing and fighting or beating cancer. It's more than just relaying science, hope, and technology. Together, our purpose is to demystify cancer, take away as much fear out of the diagnosis, treatment, and process as we can, defeat its grip on our lives. This is The Cancering Show. We want to talk to you about the mixed emotions that come with the holidays, and we've entitled this one, Love Actually. And I want you to remember that the first line in that movie is, love actually is all around. And it's so true, but that movie is also the definition of bittersweet. They talk about lost love, lost loved ones, our own family members not meeting our expectations, and new love, new expectations, a lot of discussion about the future, but maybe with cancer, it's difficult to talk about what might be in the future, even grieving the idea of what it means to have a quote-unquote regular holiday or Christmas when this year's not going to be regular at all. And so the advice here is really to just know that you're not alone, that everybody has mixed emotions around the holiday, and it's okay to be sad at times and also to find joy in the lights or the music or the laughter of children. And it's okay to seek extra support from friends or family who might really understand what you're going through, someone that you miss in your life, whether for related to grief or a death, but also someone that you might miss in your life who's just not in your life anymore. And all of these are understandable that you need extra support. A lot of times for our patients, we find that they might need extra support from a chaplain or a counselor, that they might not be able to talk to family members about some of the difficult emotions that they're feeling. This might feel particularly poignant for cancering patients with a recurrent cancer or metastatic cancer, where it's unclear if this might, in fact, be the last Christmas. What I tell my patients in that situation is none of us know. None of us know if we'll be here next year, and nobody's guaranteed a day. So treat every Christmas like it's your last Christmas, right? All right, moving on. Our next big topic is events. So we want you to think about this like the movie Home Alone. And that means a couple of different things. First, we want you to think about that movie Home Alone, that all those people crowding into that house and all of those expectations. It's crazy busy. Everybody's rushing around and nobody's really paying attention to each other. And in particular, for cancer patients, there are issues around infection control, really being safe to not be exposed to people who might be sick. There are issues around travel and coordinating that or scheduling that, around treatments. And we just want to say, for those two issues, first, keep yourself safe. It's easy to wear an N95 mask in a large crowd or on an airplane and to consider yourself safe. But it's also okay to go and to enjoy and not to feel like you have to avoid the crowds or stay home alone when the whole family is going. But along those same lines, one of the themes of that movie is that the child, Kevin, who was left home alone, felt like his family didn't notice or care or pay attention, that he had to stay home, but everybody else got to go. And we don't want you to feel that way either. We want you to feel like it's okay to tell your family that you don't want to go, and it's okay to ask for somebody to stay home with you. And it's okay to say, no, thanks. I don't want to go to the big, busy family thing. But you shouldn't sacrifice your own experience. It's okay to go. It's okay to stay home. And it's okay to be honest about really what you want to do and what works best for you. This includes it's okay to not host an event that you usually host or that you have always hosted. We can make new traditions and things can change. It's also okay to host in a different way, which might just mean that somebody else cleans the house, somebody else decorates the house, somebody else brings all the food, or it's catered, or it's a potluck. It's okay to ask for help, and it's okay to change those traditions. Nothing has to stay the same in order to work around a cancering diagnosis and a cancering patient. Issue number 3, food. Now, I want you to picture in your mind Elf sitting in the kitchen, drinking a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi, eating a giant bowl of spaghetti with meatballs and, of course, maple syrup on top. Yuck! So we know that food and holidays absolutely go together, and we always are king and queen of overdoing it. And that cancering often comes with food restrictions, limitations to what tastes good, what smells good, what will stay down, but also limitations for your health, especially if you're in remission, but maybe following a stricter diet in your survivorship or trying to lose weight and get healthy. So there's a lot of ways around this. First, you can always enjoy the treats that come with our holiday season, but watching those portion sizes so that you don't end up feeling really ill from overeating or over partaking in a dish that maybe is not what your diet calls for. There also can be changes to more traditional dishes to lower the salt or sugar intake in those dishes, but still really enjoy them. It might be that there are things that need to be changed to really make it more healthy, but there also might be dishes that you need to change the ingredients to make it more chemo-friendly so that it's less nauseating or less likely to affect your stomach with, say, less dairy or other, strong spices or something like that. So do keep that in mind that you can change those dishes, still enjoy the tradition of having them, but not necessarily partake in large portions. Next, we want to talk about you, the caregiver. We know you're out there and listening with all of our cancering patients, and we consider you to be cancering also. So we want you to think about yourselves as Chevy Chase in Christmas Vacation. You know it. You know you've done it. Too many lights, too many gifts. The tree is too big to fit in the house. And here it is again. We've overdone it. We put the lightning cooking oil on the sled, and now you've shot it all the way through to the barn in the field next door. We have all been there. And we just want to tell you, the caregiver, there can be a lot of pressure on someone who is trying to make this Christmas the most magical, the most perfect, the most special for a loved one who is cancering. And we just want to tell you, remember Christmas Vacation. We all know that Christmas would have been even better if he hadn't gone quite so far over the top. That you can keep it simple. You do not have to decorate the whole house like Southern Living is coming to visit. You do not need to fix enough food for an army. You do not need to buy 30,000 gifts. Everybody just wants to keep it simple and enjoy the time and enjoy the lower stress person that you are when you are keeping it simple. And somebody said this to me, and it's so true, that children do not remember the things that you give them or the way that the table is set. They remember how you were when you were with them. And so whatever it takes to be the kind, loving, joyful, low-stressed caregiver, that is the person you want to be at the holidays, not the over-the-top, stressed, I've got to make everything perfect person that ends up with the SWAT team at their house. Our last two topics are super hard to talk about. And of course, that means that it has to be the greatest Christmas movie of all time. You know I'm talking about It's a Wonderful Life. And we want to talk about two topics here that are really challenging. The first is folks who may be really experiencing financial hardship. That is hard to talk about. It's hard to ask for help. For most people, I just want to normalize it. For most people cancering or experiencing a cancer diagnosis, they will experience some financial hardship. And there is often more financial hardship for those people who have some insurance but are not fully insured because of the donut holes and the gaps in coverage. So we know that it exists. We know that this is a particularly difficult time financially for a lot of families. And it's hard to meet not just maybe your family members or your children's expectations, but your own. And I want you to know that there is help out there, that at any point to reach out to your cancer center or social worker to ask about resources. Most foundations, including those here in the Gulf Coast region, do offer help with paying bills, not just help with things like transportation or even lodging during a particular cancer treatment or time. Obviously, food pantries are there for families. Churches often have food pantries. Some schools have pantries to make sure that children have food over the holidays and can send kids home with meals to get them through the holiday season. But just know that there is help out there and that if you need it, it's okay to ask for it. And the last thing that we want to talk about, and this goes straight to all of you who are cancering, remember from It's a Wonderful Life. You can probably tell it's hard for me to talk about this without getting a little teared up. But to remember that your gift is your presence. You do not need to expend your energy on a single present for any person. They just want you to be there and to be present fully, to really be in the moment and to enjoy your family members, get your rest, conserve your energy, and then show up for those family events because they really just want you to be there with them. So we hope that all of this helps you to get through the holiday season and to enjoy it and to really remember that it is a time of joy, but also a time of bittersweet that includes remembrance of people that maybe we've lost or time that is passing. And it is something that we continue to support you in. We know that you're cancering. We hope you continue to take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the new year. Again, thanks for listening to The Cancering Show. And don't forget to submit your questions at cancering.com. We're here for all of those questions, and we'll get you the answers. This show is brought to you by the USA Health Mitchell Cancer Institute. MCI is a leading-edge cancer research and treatment center built to fight cancer in Mobile and Baldwin County. Our researchers and clinicians focus daily on the struggle against cancer, serving a potential catchment area of more than 4.1 million people, with a singular focus of advancing cancer diagnosis, treatment, and prevention throughout the Gulf Coast and beyond, with science, technology, and hope. Want to know more about the Mitchell Cancer Institute? Visit us at usamci.com or find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The Mitchell Cancer Institute is a member of USA Health, the health system for the University of South Alabama. To learn more about all of our hospitals, clinics, and services, visit usahealthsystem.com.